If you haven't watched the previous video about Hobin's story, you should watch it first to know what happens next. That's what we'll find out in today's video. But first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell. Let's get started. Hobin uses the element of surprise and wants to learn the mantis strike. He looks at the three hidden opponents with a cold gaze and starts to scare them more. He asks them why they laugh like that every time. Snapper personally felt that Hobin looked intimidating. Hobin is confident in himself and tells them to take out their phones and record the show instead of missing it. They stand in front of him, frightened, and start to believe that he is truly strong. Suddenly, Hobin takes off his shoe and throws it in front of them. They are puzzled and don't understand anything. They take his shoe and ask him if they can give it back to him. Hobin starts running quickly away from them, thinking that the reason for his failed attack is the wide space, and he needs to make it narrower to reduce the damage. Indeed, he takes them behind an alley and starts hitting them. This time, he manages to fend them off without any help, but he is shocked that the strike didn't cause any harm to any of them. At that moment, Kim is watching the broadcast and says that Hobin succeeded. His friends are watching with him, surprised that Hobin succeeded with such a small kick. But Kim tells them it's not small, and he can withstand it 10,000 times, even if it takes a whole month. He tells them that Hobin managed to do it 10,000 times. They believe him, and once he applies that kick on them, it makes them unable to move. This is one of the advantages of the kick, which leaves them unable to move their legs. Hobin fully exploits this. Surprisingly, their leader, who wasn't hit by this kick, can't move either. Suddenly, their champion, who is number 1 in the tournaments, comes and tells them that if they didn't know, they should write down what he's going to say. The leader says that he already won, and this is the gorilla pressure. Hobin feels his heartbeat increasing. Fear remains the reason, and he stands there wondering what skill he should use next. He gets ready with his hands, but suddenly sees Jael holding one of the 3 hidden opponents, threatening them if they move. She starts yelling at them for attacking together like cowardly chickens. The 3 hidden opponents decide to end the fight to save their friend, taking her and leaving. Hobin wakes up, not thanking Jael for saving him, but he is in another world because it's the first time he feels the joy of fighting and is truly ready to understand how to fight. He can't believe it, and Jael and his friends celebrate beside him, considering it a victory. The broadcast ends, and the video gets 2,300,000 views in a week. The 3 hidden opponents regret what they did, and their channel gets shut down due to audience criticism. The Fighting Techniques channel reaches 210,000 subscribers. Now everything returns to normal. Bomi is walking at night in the city and receives messages from Hobin telling her that it's too late to return home alone. She was saying that someone has been stalking her these days. He tells her he is near her house and will escort her. She thanks him and feels she can still rely on him. While she was walking, she accidentally bumped into someone. She was busy looking at her phone and didn't notice, so she apologized to him. But she was shocked when she realized it was Manga, the large man who used to come to the restaurant and bother her. She got scared and asked him why he always did that. He said, "Don't worry," and approached her, saying they had come together. But Kim arrived just in time and grabbed his hand before it touched Bomi's face. Kim got angry and asked if there were still people like him around these days. But suddenly Manga grabbed Kim by the neck, looked at him with a terrifying expression, and asked if he didn't see himself in the wrong place. Kim tried to provoke him and pressed his body against Manga's. Manga was surprised and asked him what he was doing and if he was following a channel on how to fight. Kim was shocked by the question and told him to try it then and see who would win, a fighting professional or a professional wrestler. Manga had already won 3 titles in those fields and was known for his smile after every match and confrontation. But now there was a new talent in Korea, Manga Shai, who had incredible talent and was considered a rising star in mixed martial arts. In their confrontation, Kim defended Bomi. It was the first time he had encountered someone with such brutal strength. and he was amazed by his power and skills. Manga was like a monster and a giant mountain before him. Manga got bored and told him that this was the way strong men lived and they didn't know any other way of life. Of course, Bomi was standing, shocked by the violent confrontation in front of her and very scared. But Manga was shocked when he found that Kim had suddenly disappeared and couldn't find him afterward. Manga was holding his hands and thumbs, looking around to see where he had gone. Then Kim suddenly appeared and told him that his strength was like a wild boar, but it seemed he had no other choice but to fight. He started taking off his jacket to prepare for the confrontation and fight with him. Manga ran toward Kim to hit him, so angry that he couldn't see ahead and didn't care about anything. He told him that handsome men like him should die. Bomi fell to the ground from the blow she took to her side and stayed in place, shocked and afraid to move. At that moment they heard someone coming and shouting at them, calling for Manga and Kim to stop fighting. This person was Hobin. At that moment Hobin saw Bomi falling. He sent her a message that he was coming right away, but she didn't respond because of what had happened. So he ran quickly. But when he arrived, he was surprised to find Manga grabbing him by the neck, lifting him in the air, and then throwing him to the ground forcefully, as if he were an annoying mosquito. Hobin was hit so hard that he couldn't scream from the force of the blow, and he lay on the ground unable to move or get up from his place. In reality, one of the widespread customs and well-known traditions in South Korea is the competition between two people for the power belt. This belt is called the stap and is blue in color. The champion wears it, and the competitor wears another belt. This traditional Korean wrestling is called sas-aromi. In this sport, when a person reaches the age of 18, they reach the peak of this sport and receive the title Shinha. Meng received this title when he turned 18, and he loves girls more than wrestling, especially beautiful girls, and always behaves with them as he did with Bomi. The thing Meng hates most in his life is handsome men, especially when one of them fights him over a girl he's interested in. He hates handsome men because he isn't handsome and dislikes anyone being in a relationship with a girl. When he sees one of them, he feels like a monster, and his strength is terrifying. People also say about him that he is a human working in Mundong. Hobin hides inside the closet, feeling ashamed of himself after what happened in front of Bomi. Snapper tries to persuade him to come out, telling him that Meng is the real monster, and he would have done the same thing to anyone. Hobin sits inside, not wanting to come out, and cries out because Bomi saw him in this state. He tells himself what would have happened if the police hadn't arrived in time. He keeps replaying the incident over and over in his mind. Sniper tries to convince him that if Kim had been there, things would have been different, asking why he can't fight like he did with many others before. All his thoughts are focused on defining fear when facing great terror. Then he won't feel anything just from a look. Hobin recalls the real fear he felt when he faced the three hidden ones. When he held Meng, he felt a new sensation for the first time, the real fear. Now he has no confidence in himself at all. He locks himself away and tells Snapper that he can't do anything or even challenge him because this time he's unsure if he can actually win. Snapper tries to comfort and reassure him, saying that Meng is like a wild boar. No one can fight him or stand in his way. They should report him to the police to take him and throw him in the park. Unfortunately, their followers wouldn't know anything, and it would be a secret between him and Meng. But unfortunately, Sniper doesn't finish his sentence before hearing Gale screaming while holding the phone. They rush to see what's happening, and Yasho tells them that Meng recorded what happened and posted the video on his channel. All the comments are shocked and asking why there isn't just the fight that happened among them. They realize that their image is starting to deteriorate, and all their subscribers are asking about the matter. Snapper gets stressed and doesn't know what to do because they wanted to hide the issue. But Meng has exposed them now, and they need to fix their image as quickly as possible. Gael, feeling a bit anxious, asked what they should do. Does it mean that Hobin will have to fight such a monster now? There were a lot of comments from the viewers on the picture that was spread, and they might lose many followers now. Hobin is worried and burdened, feeling upset with himself. Snapper tries to comfort him, telling him not to worry about the negative comments, and asks him if he plans to fight Meng again. Hobin says no, he will not fight him this time. Snapper tells him that if he doesn't want to fight, he should go live and announce this decision to the people, because if he fights him now, he will lose under his hand. He needs to clarify the matter to the audience, and then the matter will settle down. But Hobin feels shocked by his words, and at the same time feels a heavy weight on his chest. Snapper begins talking to the viewers, greeting them and trying to ease them into the topic. He explains that what happened between Meng and Hobin was just a side incident unrelated to their project. But the audience doesn't accept this explanation and starts insulting him and Hobin. Hobin watches what is happening on his phone and thanks God that he didn't kill Meng, but he still feels a void in his chest and wonders if this is the reason for his feeling. Snapper sends him a message asking if he can fight him because he looks terrifying and could harm her. He thinks about what might happen to her if he doesn't fight, because Meng will keep harassing and chasing her, not leaving her alone. He feels weak because of this feeling and experiences a mix of strong emotions. He decides to open YouTube and continues to feel the same until he finally understands the reason behind this feeling. He calls Snapper and laughs with him. Snapper asks if he called because of the clarification he made on the channel. Snapper asks if he saw the reaction, saying it's easy to fool viewers on the internet. He tells him to leave Meng now and next time, fight someone less dangerous. Suddenly Hobin is shocked and tells him he is going to fight Meng. Kenka is surprised and asks what he is saying. He asks if he is now going to fight Meng Dong. Hobin replies that he doesn't know, but he is looking for that scoundrel. He talks to his mother before going, telling her he feels a heaviness in his chest but now understands the reason. He explains that hormones surge when a person is very scared, and this hormone is called adrenaline, which makes a person feel very excited. Some people get addicted to adrenaline because it's an amazing feeling. He tells his mother that he loves fighting now, and that's the truth, and he wants to fight. He goes to Meng and challenges him, starting with the sound of a pig. This time, he knows he might really get hurt, but he chose to continue the fight. He begins to provoke Meng and starts applying self-taught fighting techniques. The video is aimed at non-professionals titled How to Beat a Beginner Wrestler. He tells beginners that this is the way to face and defeat a strong fighter. The video ends with him saying if they want to know what will happen, they should subscribe to the channel and activate the bell to receive notifications as soon as the videos are uploaded. He hopes they enjoyed the video and looks forward to seeing them in the next one.